I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 2, Episode 15. Last episode I got pump faked at the end. I thought it was Toto. I saw hands and they looked kind of like they were coming together, so I was like, clapping, Toto. Nope, I'm an idiot. I'm stupid, and now I'm scared.
I'm also really scared.
Yeah,
I'm also really excited.
I had no idea that Dagon was anywhere close to as powerful as he seems to be. Mm-hmm. We already in a pretty desperate situation. Fushiguro, or Megumi, might I say, just to be more specific, came in clutch, had an idea to get us out of there, and everything was looking up for a little bit, and now I have no idea.
He opened that door. Expect. He didn't realize that
doors go both ways. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yep.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay, that was Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 2, Episode 15.
Where do we start?
Where do we go? I don't know. Okay. So, I'm just going to talk about my feelings right now.
Oh, okay.
After leaving the scene of Megumi and Fushiguro, I was like, damn it, I need to see that. Like, I want to come back to that by the end of the episode. And I'd imagine that typically, like, show me anything else, right? You show me Jogo potentially slaughtering 3 characters that I love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like, in the future, I need to come back to the Megumi Fushiguro fight still. I need to see what happens next there. But then you switch over to Itadori and Sukuna,
which we had previously left after the Choso fight episode.
Yeah.
Where the girls show up at the end and we're able to start guessing that they have some fingers and that Sukuna might be coming out.
By the time Sukuna awakens, I completely, partially, temporarily forget everything else that happened in the episode. Because there's this, like, Jogo said it himself, it's unlike Satoru Gojo because of the evilness, right? Because of how evil and the authority that Sukuna brings to the table. But the way that they were able to, like, truthfully convey the feeling of, like, utter fear in me was ridiculous. Like, I don't know what it was, right? Typically, I think I'd be able to be like, okay, it was when he sliced forward and anybody who wasn't below the threshold of what he deemed respectable in terms of a bow would convey that sense of fear. But I don't think it was one thing. Like, I think that, like, over the course of the progression in that sequence, I had this, like, utter despair and fear in me.
I think that what definitely helped set that mood before any actual showing of character reactions, once Jogo kind of joins the 2 girls and they're all standing next to each other, we can see all of their reactions on their face, the fear in their faces, and then we get the bow sequence. But right before that, what I think really helped set the mood and the tone, because of the fact especially that we already got that same idea and got a mirror of it here with Toji. We got it earlier of him just walking, and all you could hear was the walking once we were released from the domain.
Yeah.
And then all you get is this blur of something happened, and we see Megumi blasted out. There's something about this, the unknown of this unpredictable character that is walking towards you. This character that what we're getting a comparison to is Murder Machine Ghost that is working on animalistic like instinct at this point, just wanting to kill the strongest, and then another murder machine with incomprehensible evil in their body, and both of them are creating this atmosphere of, like, the other people are so scared to move, to be the ones that move, to even breathe, that even the sound of them moving is terrifying, because it's like commanding the space. You're too scared to move, I'm not, because I know that I'm stronger.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have ever expected to see ambitions put forward into the world so completely and utterly destroyed and taken away as the girl's desire for Sukuna to kill what is in the body of Geto. I think that, like,
they screwed that up for themselves, that's in my opinion. They were doing good.
So I get what you're saying with it, and I agree. But, like, to the extent, like, okay, you show me the plane shot, you show me an example of their knowledge of who Gojo was to Geto, and saying that they hated Gojo for what he did, but it made sense, right? And it was his best friend to do it. And the defilement of the corpse of Geto, and that desire being brought forth of killing whoever is in that body and letting Geto be at peace somewhat. I'm like, okay, they narratively put that on the table. Whether or not Sukuna kills them now or whatever, it might happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that might be the next, like, that might be one of the next steps. But then the fucking girl who was like, I know where a finger is.
Yeah, like, what? That was the silliest thing. I was gonna say stupid, but I feel bad.
So I would have, like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, you're bringing up the location of the finger, and I'm just going to flat out give him the location right now as, like, another, like, example of gratitude.
How much respect you have for him. Like, we want this so bad from you that we are willing to give you it's not even a bargain at that point. They're like, here is what we have to give you.
We're giving you everything.
We're gonna pay you up
this.
front.
Yeah.
We're not gonna wait until the job is done to pay you.
Yeah, which, again, I don't know if that changes what Sukuna does. Probably not.
It possibly does.
I don't think it does, but regardless, it doesn't matter because they're both dead.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, I think that I don't know. I think sometimes you forget how much of a individual Sukuna truly is,
mm-hmm.
and how we don't truthfully know too much about Sukuna.
Nope.
And, like, what his disposition is, other than the few times that we get him talking to Itadori or taking over his body.
I think that all we can possibly maybe guess from this like what this episode has given us is maybe the ability to put some comparison between the character Toji that we get to know better in Hidden Inventory to Sukuna, to maybe help us inform our ideas of the personality and the person and the decisions and motivations of Sukuna.
Yeah. So, immediately I'm like, oh, Toji and Sukuna, right? Because of Toji's disposition at the moment to go after the strongest, as well as that'd be fucking cool, because we get the idea of Gojo saying that even with all 20 fingers, he believes he can take on Sukuna. Gojo's out of the picture, but we did see Gojo kill Toji, so we see that power scaling, like, to place Toji in a spot that would be really unique to watch him versus Sukuna with 15 fingers. But then I'm like, fuck, that's not gonna happen, or if it does, it won't be for a bit, because we're gonna have, I think, it would all be in Sukuna's realm if he went to Toji right now, but we know that's not gonna happen, because he's going to go after, Jogo. Like,
okay.
Yeah, and, like, because obviously they're going to have their fight right now.
I thought you meant, like, he was gonna leave, and I was
no.
What's he gonna leave for?
Like, he's going to have an interaction with Jogo right now, and if Jogo can touch him, then he's gonna be a subordinate, which is a whole,
That's not gonna happen.
So, is Sukuna putting that on the table because of his confidence that Jogo won't be able to do shit to him? Or is he, like, saying that because he would actually be interested in doing something like that at some point in his mind?
He seems like he likes to have fun. And just because he's agreeing to be a subordinate right now doesn't mean once things change that he wouldn't just kind of opt out of that agreement on his own. He might think it's more interesting to go along with this plan. If this person is strong enough to land one blow on him, then that's entertaining. I think that there's room for Sukuna and Toji to interact at least at some point, and I'm going to go more with the narrative emotional side, or what would help Itadori adapt quicker to like get rid of Sukuna right now, and that is to see your best friend being beat up by his dead dad.
Fair. What do you think's gonna happen in terms of Toji and Megumi?
So we don't know if Megumi was singled out in that way because as we know, Sukuna has seen Megumi and thought that Megumi has the amazing potential.
Yeah.
And so it could be that Toji looked around the room and could tell also that Megumi has amazing potential, and therefore he ended up being the more entertaining or strongest one to fight in the room.
Yeah.
Or it's recognizing that this is your kid, which I also find a little like less likely.
They were speaking within the realm. I don't know how good Toji's ears are, but Fushiguro was named while Toji was technically present. So there could be...
Nanami said Fushiguro something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. He was named.
So there could be something there, but I'm with you in trying to determine, like, okay...
There's actual reasoning.
Yeah, because, like, we did have the line about the strongest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And going forward towards that, and I obviously everybody else, I don't know. I still don't think it's the strongest thing. I think it's very plausible, and I could be very wrong about it. But with Naobito there, like, I know it wasn't much of like a effort or fight against Jogo, but that showed me like still how high of a level Naobito is there. He's a ridiculous force, and I would imagine that it's safe to say that he is stronger at the moment than Megumi.
And okay, so if we were to also maybe compare fighting style of Jogo in that sequence of like who he goes for first, he goes Nanami, Maki, and then Naobito, and you know, on a good day and completely healed, Nanami might be stronger than Maki, but Nanami did a lot of fighting with Naobito in Dagon's domain.
Yeah.
So Maki might currently be in better shape. And I could see Jogo being the type that goes up the ladder of weakest to strongest, get rid of the like little fish.
I don't think so.
You can win against, and then
I think Jogo is so strong and so much stronger than any of them that they're all just flies.
Gotcha. We do have a line either from Naobito or Nanami about how Jogo, when he walks in, they're like, and this one's stronger than the last one.
Yeah. Like, and they were already getting kind of rolled by Dogon. So
it was thanks to I think Nanami has a line that's like, if Fushiguro hadn't shown up, and I'm like, if both the Fushiguros hadn't shown up, honestly,
we're so fucked. Like I don't, things keep getting worse for the Jujutsu sorcerers, right? Like, okay, first Gojo's taken away, and then okay, Gojo's taken away, fine, we still have not only all the students that we do, we have Mei, we have Nanami, who I trust with my whole life. Naobito, who's obviously incredibly strong. And I'm like, okay, we're fine. And then once Dagon's introduced, I think that the scaling of power really like hit me like a train.
And it was especially effective because we weren't even counting this curse womb octopus thing as one of the fighters that was going to be in this scene, this time, this fight.
Exactly.
We weren't even counting on them to be anything.
And then for a split second, at the end of last episode, and then at the beginning of this episode, I'm like, shit, at least there you go. We have Toji on our side. But then we're very quickly told, nope, that's not how that works. And we don't even know what Toji would want to be doing right now. And now he's up against Fushiguro. Sukuna is out, so we don't have Itadori on the table. One of it would be an awesome interaction that I don't know if I'd confidently say he has a chance. But see, like, Todo showing up and seeing that his brother and his body has been taken over by this fucking creature, Sukuna.
You know what would like lend to something like that happening even more is that we in this season have been given actual, like, we got that what's it? Ping pong scene with Todo where he is realizing that he doesn't get to team up with Itadori since he recommended him.
Yeah.
So that's why, more reason why he wouldn't especially be used here or be seen fighting alongside Itadori yet. But if we're in a circumstance where Itadori's body can't adapt fast enough and
Yeah.
Sukuna's in control, Toto could totally narratively be introduced. And
What
it
have
would
you done with my best friend?
would be
That's
so
not
good.
you. Yeah.
I am incredibly nervous.
So like in a story, like in an anime, right? You always like in the back of your mind wondering where it's gonna end or where it's gonna go. Whether like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, like any of like the easy ones to name. And I have no fucking clue what we're going to do, like going forward, not only in this arc, but in the story, right? Like, what do you do with Itadori? Like, what is Itadori's life going to be? Like, obviously, we have the idea that he's going to be able to come back or have control over this. And as long as Gojo's around, that's fine, I think, right? Because of Gojo's will. But I don't know. Like, right now, we're fucked. I don't know.
So we know that with Jujutsu Kaisen, like some techniques, if you say out loud kind of what your technique can do, it makes it stronger. I think that things are also so purposefully placed and mirrored to create kind of foreshadowing that isn't super obvious until an event happens and then you realize that last episode a line or a situation happened that completely parallels this. And I think that at the moment I feel pretty secure still because we have so much dialogue in awareness of, even from Sukuna and Jogo, the awareness of how adaptable Itadori is, and that if they don't do this right now, he will regain control.
Yeah. Yuta was put on the table. Like, before, while Gojo was getting sealed, he can show up.
Also, we haven't seen Panda fight.
True.
We know that Inumaki is still kind of probably trying to save people.
Yeah.
There's the guy that's with Panda.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been given his name, but he's a guy. And he probably does Jujutsu sorcerer stuff.
It's just like...
He could be strong.
But like to the level, like to the degree that we're fighting against right now. Like Choso's still on the loose, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that at the end of last season, I'm like, okay.
Wait, Choso's not on the loose.
No?
Didn't Itadori kill Choso?
No. Choso walked away.
Choso walked away.
After having the visions.
Why did I just think that he, like, walked off and died? Like, really sad?
I don't know.
I guess that was, like, the feeling that I got from that scene where, like, sometimes, like, an animal doesn't want to die in front of you and then they'll go and, like, off somewhere else in the house and do it.
Nah.
I just thought he died.
Nah, Choso's alive and well.
Well, he's not gonna do anything. But we have Mahito.
I think Choso's still around too, though, and Mahito.
Didn't
like you
you
said.
originally, when we were thinking about matchups, didn't you bring up Mahito and Panda possibly being interesting?
Because of the soul, yeah.
And we haven't seen either of them.
That's true.
So that's still, but also we've been introduced to characters I didn't even think were on the table in terms of like on the villain side, especially.
We still have the white-haired person too, that we haven't really seen much in the villain side. That we've seen on the beach before. Who was with Geto.
Yeah.
So we don't really know about them. It's just I feel like the odds are so stacked against us right now because of who we have physically seen in the area.
Mm-hmm. Everyone else would have to be like, we just got the phone call and now we're trying to get here as fast as possible. The pacing of this whole night.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt more than like how many hours has passed.
I don't know.
I feel like it's been a very quick succession, especially it might feel longer because of the fact that there's so many different groups and we've been kind of going between them. But if we actually were able to like figure out how long it's been, I doubt it's been super long into the night.
You know what sucks? It's like, okay, if Gojo's out, anybody can come at any point because Gojo can teleport, right?
Mm-hmm.
But other than driving here or flying here, like, it's going to take a bit for anybody to come here, other than, I guess, Toto, who can swap with anything, like, living, but I don't know how that
I don't know how far, I think Kyoto is the other school, right? I don't know how far Kyoto is from here.
Is there any shot that this like ends in like a just complete loss for us, and then we have to regroup and
Probably.
Gojo's still
I
sealed?
think that's like I think that's a possibility. I don't want to say it's likely, but I think that it at least is a possibility that should be on the table, that we should consider, unfortunately, that this could just be a major loss and a really like heavy hit death toll wise.
For some reason, I feel bad saying this. I don't think May beats Geto.
I don't think so either. But I don't really have an idea of what deaths they're willing to do in Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, didn't Ino survive? Like, I thought that if they were gonna actually kill Ino, then I was like, oh, they're gonna kill someone even more like beloved by fans
Yeah.
later on.
Well, okay, that's a good roundabout way to get back to like Nanami and Maki here and Naobito.
He's not as lovable by fans, but
No, but like in
But I'll
terms of if
consider
they're
him.
dead or not.
no, I know.
Like I think that you brought up a good point that okay, the girls use their technique to temporarily save themselves.
But they
and-
they died. But
Yeah.
also they're not main characters.
No, but they didn't die. I'm saying more in specifically
Mm.
from Jogo's ability.
They were able to save themselves from the fire.
So
yes.
therefore, they're whether they use cursed ability or technique or not, I think Nanami and Maki and maybe Naobito, might be a chance that they're not
I'm trying to think
dead.
of which one of them would have something like that. Like, I can't just like think to myself, like, we found out the girls, one of them had a technique that had to do with the photos they were taking. I believe they probably took a selfie when they held up the phone.
Yeah.
At originally I thought they were taking a picture of Jogo, but now in context I'm going to say they probably were taking a selfie so that both of them were protected.
Yeah.
So I don't know which out of the three, because I think I would find it hard to believe if all three of them were able to survive it. I think that'd be a little too perfect world.
I mean, okay, I don't think any of them would have used curse techniques to survive it. Of course not Maki. I don't think it would be Naobito unless it was something with his technique that we learned last episode. The picture that I have on the screen of Naobito right now, I can't tell if it is like actually that burnt flesh, scorched dead, or like an effect because that just happened to him, you know? Because if that's the case, and it isn't just an anime effect, and that's what his body looks like, I don't have hope for anybody. But like, how could you kill Nanami and Maki here, right? Like they definitely could, but like I won't believe it until I get confirmation.
I think narratively, unfortunately, you could kill Maki and Nanami, even if I don't want it to be the case.
Same.
For Nanami, it's because of what he said to Nobara about how everyone at this point, he's basically the weakest you should be to enter the battles going forward. And then Maki would be under that umbrella, but also Toji being introduced and the idea of Toji being underestimated because he Dagon was thinking about Maki.
Yeah.
Therefore, we have Maki even lower again, because she was the reason that Dagon underestimated
If
Toji.
Maki is dead, it could be a good entrance for the other
For
school to
Panda?
come into play.
Oh,
you
the
know?
other school.
Yeah.
I thought maybe like it'd be good for Panda or Inumaki.
But also like, okay, if we do introduce Toto, this would be a great point to bring Mai in if she sees what happened to Maki.
I didn't even. And Naobito was there.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about adding more family elements.
And
to this.
if Mai already had such a I don't want to be part of this clan
Kamo
shit.
Kamo's
Yeah.
also a part of the fam.
Kind
of.
But so they could both come, and I think that it could be just a whole Zenin clan reunion. But I think that if Mai came, think about what we learned about Mai during one of my favorite moments of the first season, the fight between Maki and Mai. Her crying, why did you leave me? Why couldn't we just be at the bottom together? This could completely, I don't know, do something internally to Mai that could set her off.
I think that's fair to bring
Because
up.
remember what we said, learned about Fushiguro, a Jujutsu sorcerer's strength and ability isn't necessarily a steady slope. It can just take one thing to really set them
it
off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the last things I wanted to do is read what the narrator was saying upon Toji's entrance, because I thought that it was sick. One who, oh,
A little early.
yeah, a little early. Okay, we see his hand coming through. Oh, Naobito Fushiguro's response. One who had inherited the curse of the Zenin clan from birth. Seeing Maki. And one who could not completely cast off that curse. Both stood in witness to the one who cast it all off, now manifested in raw flesh and taking action. Jesus.
And then we get Fushiguro saying, "Who's that?"
I love that it's Naobito who, like, it knows exactly who this is.
Mm-hmm. It really takes the scar on the lip. That's what we get shown right before Naobito realizes that it's Toji.
Yeah. A ghost. That was such a good line. What do you think the prerequisites or like the filter is that an animation sequence needs to go through to be dimmed by law?
There was actually one that was exceedingly like more dim than normal.
But I wonder,
and I think it was when he was he had driven the like now estate
fucking
through
amazing
Dagon,
moment,
and then was like that was more dim than I would say some of the other scenes were.
I did love the Playful Cloud. Playful Cloud's one of my favorite things within this series. So sharpening Playful Cloud was fucking against itself was so badass. But like I imagine, like, obviously we know the reason why they dim it, right? Like, and like the history behind that. But I wonder what the actual like, you must be this tall to ride, you know, like what the actual criteria would be.
How quick things are, like the actual movement speed of the flickering.
Maybe if like things are above a certain, like items in a scene are above a certain like lumetric value of like brightness, then the amount of like, I don't know, action in frames needs to be like, I don't know, you know, under a certain number.
There's definitely some like write-up sheet that's like, okay, gotta check off these boxes. Does this scene have a lot of colors? Yup. Does this scene have a lot of movement? Yup.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested in learning that.
I would also be interested to find out exactly how they kind of pick which scenes they think they need to dim for like,
I wouldn't think it's somebody just sitting behind the screen being like, that one, not that one, you know.
Someone that's like
I think it'd need to be like more mathematical, like I would think, at least. I don't know. I get it though.
I get it. It doesn't really bother me.
I wish we had like, so I know in Blind Wave, their reactions to My Hero Academia, when I used to like watch a ton of reactions, I don't really have time anymore, but I watched their Todoroki, or no, I don't know if they did it in that. I think they didn't do it in that one. But regardless, they had their editor take the footage, and the editor went out of his way to like fix that issue, quote unquote, and like made the brightness all the same, so they didn't have to watch it because they didn't have any risk of having any type of like seizure response or any ill effect.
Honestly,
wish we could do that.
I sometimes when things are flashing, I'm like, that's a lot, that's much, and I don't have any issues, so it doesn't break my immersion.
See, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it never breaks my immersion. I think that in this episode, there was a lot of it. And
it was pretty heavy-handed.
And I think that it wasn't like, oh, the whole thing's dimmed constantly. It was like, this is dimmed, this isn't, this is dimmed, this isn't. And it because of how like quick it went from action being dimmed and not dimmed, that was the only reason it like for a second.
Also, how could you decide? Because I feel like some of the shots that weren't dim were like very, very similar to the sequences that were.
But that's why I'm like so curious of what the actual rule is. Yeah.
I also wonder what like year they started implementing that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm probably wrong here. It had to come with the Porygon episode from Pokemon causing seizures.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm
How dare you, Pokemon?
It was somebody's intent. Like, some guy was like, yes.
They wanted to break the like fourth wall, and they were like, Pokemon can actually attack you in real life.
I'm probably way wrong though, and if you please like educate us.
If anyone actually knows,
put it in the comments, and our editor can send it to us.
Yes.
But that'd be awesome. All right, that's all I have you.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.